Welcome back, everyone. This is the 90 Mile Podcast. As of recording, we are exactly 1 week away from the first round of the NFL Draft, where the Jacksonville Jaguars will be on the clock first overall, bearing some miracle. And I am super laggy, but Adam, you want to tell them what we're going to do this one long week away from the NFL Draft?
Today we're going over my mock draft. It'll obviously be better than Jish's. It was terrible. And if you want to see you want to compare those two, both of them will be uploaded. So please watch both, give both a like, and give us some support. Do you want anything to say this, or should I just go straight into it?
I ain't got nothing to say other than if you
Okay.
honestly think yours is going to be better, then you've really got another thing coming.
Okay, I'm saying this right now. I didn't do any trades, and one because I feel it's going to be kind of like last year, where a lot of teams thought, a lot of people were expected to trade up, and no one did.
There were quite a bit of trades last year. Let's not discount that. I mean,
No,
more...
like on draft night.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like the Bucks and 49ers traded picks.
That was
like one.
Well, that's like those are later. Like I'm talking about like in the beginning. And two, if you want to take a look at Jish's, he did trades, but he didn't do real trades. He goes, "Oh yeah, Giants trade back for what was it? Bill Belichick's dog." Like
that actually, you know what? I think the Patriots might actually have to throw that one in to make the trade worthwhile. I said it was Eli Manning's prime, but
yeah. Okay.
So let's see what you got. First overall, you're obviously going with Kwity Paye.
No. Jalen. No, we got Trevor Lawrence, number 1 to the Jaguars. I don't really think there can be much to be said. And number 2, Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU to the Jets. I don't really think that's
completely wrong. Those aren't gonna happen.
Yeah, what was it? I saw it was like it's like minus 10,000 for the for Trevor Lawrence going number 1. So it's like if you bet $10,000, you only get $100 back if you bet that for Trevor Lawrence to go number 1, which is just unheard of.
That's a bargain.
Yep. And
easy loss of money.
Zach Wilson, QB BYU. Again, nothing much else. I've been hearing some rumors that there's a chance that the Jets might take Fields, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna.
Fields has a cannon for an arm, bro.
I think yeah. So now let's go to the third pick. The San Francisco 49ers, obviously taking a quarterback, and we debated this.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Okay, fine. With the third pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Mac Jones.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that you picked a quarterback that's literally just a carbon copy of Jimmy G, or the fact that you couldn't count to 3. I don't know what's funnier in this situation. Both are equally as stupid.
I've had a long day. But yeah, no, Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. We started to debate a lot. We debated a lot off the camera, and I feel that the 49ers, this pick really has to depend between if they think that they're ready to win now or ready to win in a couple years. Because we already know that their team is stacked. They have a phenomenal O-line, a phenomenal defense. If they can get if their defensive coordinator can even be like half as good as Robert Saleh, they're going to have a solid defense, especially that D-line. They have a great run game. They have good receivers. They have George Kittle, arguably the best tight end in the league. I don't think he is, but it is arguable. And the reason why I'm going for Mac Jones is because they're probably going to want to win now. And Mac Jones is, like I say this a lot, Fields is going to be better for the career. Mac Jones is better now. And he's more NFL ready. And by bringing in Jones, and then you can get rid of Garoppolo, cut him, trade him, do whatever you want. Now open up cap space to sign your young talents like Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Jish. No. Do you want to speak?
Let me tell you something. First of all, you're right. George Kittle is not the best tight end in the league. The best tight end in the league is Adam Shaheen. Second of all, you're not gonna trade up you're not gonna trade up all these future assets just to get you a carbon copy of Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo's still a competent quarterback. He can still win with you. When you draft Mac Jones, he is not giving you anything that Jimmy Garoppolo can. If anything, he's a little bit less mobile, right? I think that they have similar strengths. I think Mac Jones has a little bit better of a deep ball than Jimmy Garoppolo, although his pro day didn't seem like that thesis was supported. If in my opinion, you take Justin Fields and even Trey Lance before you take Mac Jones in the spot, right? Because you're trying to build for the future. You want to get that mobile quarterback who not only is going to give you like a talented arm, but also can give you stuff on the ground with you when you have a Raheem Mostert in the backfield, when you have whoever else they get at running back in the backfield. You are a running team, and you run first, and you run the play action. With Mac Jones, I don't think that his lack of mobility is a huge red flag. And of course, Kyle Shanahan's a quarterback guru who can work with anyone. Yeah. But why trade up from 12 to 3 only to get Jimmy G 2.0?
Well, that's the thing. I think, Jimmy G is always hurt, and I feel like that's one big thing. And if you're saying Mac Jones is Jimmy G 2.0, you get a younger, possibly better, healthy, and for $20 million less each year, I think if your team is ready to win now, that's not a terrible trade. It really depends on obviously this pick. It's really there's so much debate for it that we can go on all about this. Do I want to just go to my next?
Listen. I'm gonna say one last thing, right? And I think Mac Jones needs to develop the type of game knowledge of a Peyton Manning or a Drew Brees or a Tom Brady to not bust. All Justin Fields needs to do is make an NFL leap. If he doesn't make that mental transition, he still has his legs, he'll be fine. Mac Jones is not the most talented quarterback, but his quarterbacks like him succeed in the NFL when they have the mindset. So if Mac Jones can get that mindset, then that's a good pick at 3.
And that's all about how the 49ers view them. And with the next pick, I know you had Atlanta trading down for a defensive player. I feel that, and you said so yourself, you don't really know the full story about his off the field antics, but I think you got to go with the best defensive player in this draft, arguably one of the best middle linebackers in prospect in recent years, and you don't trade back and hope that he falls to you, because there could be any moment where a team like the Cowboys just jump up and just take him. And if you don't know who that is, it's Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State.
I enjoy that pick, Adam. That's a nice pick. I think that's a good pickup for the Falcons. I think on the Falcons defense, linebacker is probably their weakest need, but I think the versatility of Parsons, you just don't pass up on that. He's incredible as a middle linebacker. He can do basically anything. He can rush off the edge too, and I know they really desperately need an edge rusher. Yeah, you know what? I dig.
Now with the 5th pick, the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow has been wanting Ja'Marr Chase badly. Don't blame him. Ja'Marr Chase is an absolute beast, but you got to be able to protect your Joey B. You have some targets still for him, and you could always pick up a receiver late in the round, but you're not going to be able to get a guy like Penei Sewell. He's one of the best offensive tackles prospects of in recent history, maybe even of all time. He's just going to be an absolute beast, and he's going to change that offensive line for the Bengals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. In my mock draft, I didn't even have Penei Sewell falling that far. I just think he's that good. I mean, you saw the Bengals release their jersey photos, and you see the clear scar on Burrow's knee. Everyone's talking about that, and tell me who the Bengals are drafting without telling me who the Bengals are drafting. I mean, obviously they could go for more receiver depth with the departure of Alex Erickson, John Ross, AJ Green. But in the second round, I think the wide receiver depth. I wouldn't say it's more deep than the offensive line, but I think you're going to get better options in the second round for your wide receiver than you would Penei Sewell.
Well, I'm just saying this right now. My first round is plentiful of receivers and offensive line. It's just this draft. This draft is just hacked on the offensive side. It's just on another level.
People are sleeping on guys like Diami Brown, right? People are sleeping on guys like... Well, people aren't really sleeping on Terrence Marshall. People are sleeping on dudes like... I don't even know. There's so many
Rondell
good wide
Moore.
receivers. Rondell Moore is just like your Curtis Samuel if he can get there. And he's also much smaller. I don't know about Rondell Moore. But also kind of injury prone. Think a mix of Laviska Shenault and Curtis Samuel. Um. Anyway, let's go on to your next pick. Pretty
Miami
solid so far.
Dolphin, Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
Oh,
I was thinking I thought about Pitts, but they got to go Jamar Chase because Gesicki is still very talented. You only have Will Fuller for a year, and with Jamar Chase coming in, and then you can keep Devontae Parker, that will be one terrifying receiving corpse. The only
yeah.
thing that made me think about Kyle Pitts is that we know Kyle Pitts wasn't falling to. We know neither of them are falling to the 12 spot where they were after the trade with the Niners. But at the 12 spot, there's still a good chance of getting Waddle or Smith. So I think they traded up for either. We all know they either traded up for either Sewell, Pitts, and Chase. I think Chase is number one on their board, and then Sewell, and then Pitts. But it really they're unless obviously I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I haven't really heard much about where they're gonna go. I haven't heard any leaked things besides oh, this is where a lot of people are putting them with. What are your opinions on that?
I mean, no matter what they do, they win the draft. I thought you would go with Kyle Pitts just because you were smoke screening me off the screen. You were saying, "Oh, don't be surprised if Kyle Pitts goes to Miami." I'm like, "Oh, there's his draft draft pick." I mean, Kyle Pitts is such an interesting prospect. He could even go outside shot. He goes to number 3 with the Niners. That would be super scary. They're not gonna do it, but just imagine Kittle with Pitts lining up off. Oh my god. That would be crazy. No matter who you have under center.
That's the thing with Pitts. It's he's the wild card because you he can go 3, and there's a chance that he slips to 12. I don't think he will, but it's not Chase isn't Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell aren't making it out of the top 8. You can't say that for a fact with Pitts.
Pitts' latest he goes is 10. I'm saying that right now. Bookmark it. This video is going to come out a little bit before the draft, I imagine. Bookmark it now.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that, but
10 is the latest he goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the next pick we have the Detroit Lions. I think they got to go defense here. I think they do have a young corner, and I always forget his name, Jeffrey Okudah. But Patrick Surtain, cornerback Alabama, going across Okudah. That is one terrifying cornerback duo for the future.
Is he a knee biter though? Is he a knee biter? Is he a kneecap biter?
Hey, if you're getting paid $4 million a year, I'll buy whatever you want.
I guess Patrick Surtain because honestly, if the Dolphins are in this situation with this board, don't be surprised if they take Kyle Pitts again. I know they have Hawkinson. Hawkinson's more of a blocker, if I'm being honest. And you could line up Kyle Pitts out wide. My cat's leaving the door right here. I mean, if I'm in this situation on the lines, I'm taking a receiver. Because
I had Devontae Smith going there for a little bit, but there's a couple things that I've had, and I'll explain that after that. And I just realized
nice draft for the Giants, like I did for the Eagles.
I do have Devontae Smith going to the Giants, so we'll get to that. But it's better than what my previous one was. My previous one was nuts, and that's why I had to look at it and be like, yeah, no, this isn't happening. But yeah, I had at 8 Carolina Panthers select Kyle Pitts. I know you think that's a great fit for them. I agree. They have a very young, talented defense. Offensively, they have solid receivers and Christian McCaffrey. The only other thing that I thought about was Rashawn Slater because of the Trey Turner release. But that was one of the things that changed after I realized how idiotic I was.
Anyway, I didn't know if you just moved on to the Panthers, but I don't know. Outside shot, very Dan Campbell pick at number 7 could be Christian Barmore. Bookmark it. Stamp it. It's early. They might even trade back for him. They lost.
You just want that because you don't want the Eagles to take him.
Listen. It's not about that. I'm saying the Lions can even trade back. The Lions are also a prime trade back candidate and I know a lot of teams are probably calling them. If they trade back like into like even the early teens, there's one team at like 12 that they might trade back with. They could get Christian Barmore a good value, I think. So don't be surprised. But moving on to the Panthers, please.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts to the Panthers.
Yeah.
You've been saying that a lot. I agree with you. I think that's a phenomenal fit.
Been saying
I feel that
since last draft.
I think that's the farthest he falls, but like I wouldn't be surprised if they take Slater and he falls even farther. But I think that's where it goes. I think Carolina Panthers are praying that Pitts falls to them because that's a phenomenal fit for them.
And that's a home run. That's a home run and a half.
Yeah.
You're getting so much versatility. You're getting your Chase Claypool out of that at minimum. You're getting your Chase Claypool out of that at minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. With our next pick, we got Denver Broncos at number 9. They got to go QB. And I'll admit, this past year I was huge on Drew Lock. I thought because they set it up for him to succeed, and he just didn't.
Jerry Jeudy, baby, let's go.
That's why they're going for another quarterback. And you have him at number 3. I have him at number 9. Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
I mean, I kind of like that. I like that in the sense that you might need him to step in earlier than expected. I had Trey Lance going to the Broncos to spoil anyone who hasn't seen my draft. If you haven't, shame on you. You are saving the best for last. Because, I mean, I think that Trey Lance projects better long term. But I think if you need someone to step in right away, because Drew Lock could very well just not be the answer this year, which he probably... Who knows? He needs to make drastic improvement or else he's getting replaced, and I think Justin Fields would be
Josh Allen, Mike.
Yeah, except then what do you do with Justin Fields in your roster?
Trade him, because you'll get more than a first round pick for that, and but I know next year isn't supposed to be that huge for the quarterback position. From like right now, obviously you'll always have your Joe Burrow or Kyler Murray who pops out of nowhere, but like. If let's just say that's the case, they get Fields and then Drew Lock pops off. Don't be surprised if they trade to the number 1 pick team for the first overall pick. Because if there's no good quarterbacks, I would do that. Like,
what would they take? They would take that one. I don't know. That's way too far in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Now 10, the Dallas Cowboys. They got to go defense. There's no Micah Parsons, there's no Patrick Surtain, but there is Caleb Farley. And I know you haven't fallen a lot, but the Cowboys are either going to trade back, but they got to go defense. And I don't think there's any other guy that's talented that should be going in the top 10 on defense if Parsons and Slater are gone.
I think he's a good scheme fit for them. I think he's a better scheme fit than Patrick Surtain is for them. Of course, there's just like the injury concerns and the durability concerns. I don't know. I think that there's going to be one position group that's going to fall on draft night drastically. And I just predicted that was going to be corners. But yeah, the corner class is actually low key deep as well. I enjoy the pick in terms of mock drafting, but I wouldn't like Caleb Farley on the Cowboys. That would fucking suck. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Well, the Cowboys are in this position to go to get a splash on the defense. Hopefully, it's a bust, but
Kwity Paye.
We'll see.
How is Kwity Paye fallen so far?
Oh God. Okay. At number 11, New York Giants. I mentioned this earlier, Devontae Smith. But let me just explain what my previous draft was. I had the Lions taking Devontae Smith. The Panthers taking Rashawn Slater. The Giants getting Kyle Pitt. The Eagles getting Jalen Waddle. And then the Chargers taking Darius Slayton. I forget exactly what it was, but it had Pitts falling 11 to the Giants and Slater and Devontae Smith going before him. And that was when I realized this is definitely not going to happen. As much as I wish it did, it's not. But like I said in the other video, Devontae Smith has been showing that Dave Gettleman has been showing a lot of love for Devontae Smith, or that's what the rumors are. And yeah, Jish, your input.
I mean, he's going to get open. He's going to get open. and you don't really have too much of a. I mean, he'll he'll give you what Sterling Shepard does, just maybe at like a higher level, maybe not right
And
away, but he
Shepard is always hurt
yeah, he's got like incredible route running. Um,
in
obviously,
release.
I don't care about his size. I think it's a good pickup for the Giants.
Yeah.
I just think that edge rusher and offensive, like that one offensive line position, right guard, are just bigger needs. And of course, you shouldn't draft for need. Always like you shouldn't
Yeah.
draft for need if it's a reach, but I don't know.
There's like the saying is like free agency is for need, draft is for best player available. And
Yeah.
also this like O
When
line
you
class,
when you're a
you could
team,
definitely
in my opinion, that's like one piece away from really like making a push. I think you go get that piece whenever you can.
yeah. But that's the thing. I think the Giants are better. Should be better at waiting to the second round to get a guard because there's a lot of talented guards that will be in the later first round, early second round that the Giants can snag one, and that will change everything while still getting Devontae Smith.
My God,
Now, what?
if you get like Devontae Smith round 1 and Landon Dickerson round 2, I'm somebody's dying. Somebody's dying.
Okay. Now with the number 12 pick, your Philadelphia Eagles. You want the J.C. Horn?
Did you say?
Well, guess
Jalen Waddle?
what?
Is it Waddle?
Yeah, Jalen Waddle. I think the Eagles got to go receiver. I think you got to, if you think Jalen Hurts is your guy, you got to go Jalen Waddle. Jalen, Reagor, Waddle, and
you
Hurts.
did that on purpose. I know you did.
No, I didn't do it on purpose. I think the Eagles are going to go receiver unless they go Christian Barmore or Kwity Paye, which like you've been sending me those things, but they got to go receiver, and Waddle's the best receiver there.
I've been getting colder on Waddle to the Eagles. I still think it would be fine. It would be a good pick, because he's a true deep threat, I think. And Hurts likes that. Just last year in the draft, we drafted for speed at the receiver position. Speed. And Waddle would just be more of that. I feel like we need to start getting a little bit more size, a little bit more getting open.
Okay. I agree with that, but like I don't know enough about Reagor, but he's definitely not on the same level as Waddle. Waddle's probably faster. Waddle has better hands and better route running.
Okay, yeah, but that's not what you that's not what Reagor's going to be doing. Reagor's going to be getting manufactured touches, and I think Sirianni can do that better than Doug Peterson can, just because of like what T.Y. Hilton was able to do. I think that Reagor can play that kind of role. I think if I'm sitting at this spot, Waddle he could fit Jalen Hurts' skill set, and he would be a true deep threat. I just think that we would need someone. Jalen Hurts really needs his first read to get open, and if your first read's going to be a deep threat, I just don't know. You know, I would much rather have a route runner like Devontae Smith, and if he's not there, I would rather go corner J.C. Horn, get a corner 2 to pair with Slay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, I think receiver is the best choice for the Eagles. The next pick, the Los Angeles Chargers. I got to go with Rashawn Slater, guard. I think that obviously I don't know enough about the Chargers, but I do think that their O-line is still little. Like they're just that one piece away, if I'm not mistaken. And getting Rashawn Slater is going to be a huge benefit for that offense because Eckler is a very talented back. I don't know who their tight end is, but Herbert is just tearing defenses apart and giving him more time to read and throw the ball is just going to completely change everything for the better.
Jared Cook is their tight end, by the way. Yeah, Rashawn Slater works. I did not have Rashawn Slater falling this far. I think that some team's going to panic and take him earlier. And I think if the Chargers, like they did in my mock, traded up for Penei Sewell, then that could be the Bengals panicking because they need to get Joe Burrow help. But yeah, it works. He can project anywhere in the line. On the right side, they got Bulaga. At center, they got Lindsley. Just that left tackle. Who is it? Sam Tevi? Like, yeah, you're gonna want to do a little bit better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. The next pick, the Minnesota Vikings. I have them taking Kwity Paye. I think that they have solid D tackles, and with Dalvin Tomlinson, I always forget the other guy. and then they also have Daniel Hunter, and with Odenigbo gone, and they haven't really filled that hole that Everson Griffin left. And they always Mike Zimmer is that he always played his team always played the best when they had a solid D line, and Kuripe will just perfect that line.
The GOAT is off the board! Finally! Finally, Kwity Paye has been selected. It has taken long enough. I'm so surprised that he has fallen this far. Yeah, the other guy you're thinking about is Michael Pierce. Him and Dalvin Tomlinson kind of both play nose tackle, which is a little weird that they got both of them. I guess Dalvin Tomlinson can be a 3 technique if you need him to be. I mean, yeah, it's solid. I like that pick. They could also easily go with O-line, interior O-line. The only guy I could look at for that, though, is Elijah Vera Tucker, and I think that either going O-line or D-line is definitely the wave here. They got a very young secondary. They can grab like a safety later on, though, to replace Anthony Harris. I like it. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah. And number 16, I have theirs is the Arizona Cardinals. I know you had them trading up.
Did you skip the Patriots?
Wait, did I? Oh, I think I did. Oh,
you
sorry.
Talking about the Vikings.
Yeah. Okay, with number 15, I have the Patriots. I've got they lost Joe Thuney. I think that they need to get another offensive lineman, and I have them taking Christian Darrisaw.
Yo, what? Dog pause. Hold up. No. The Patriots O-line was like one of the best and most underrated in football last year. The reason the Patriots didn't succeed is because they had no weapons, and Cam Newton was throwing it everywhere besides where it needed to be. Jacoby Myers was their best weapon last year.
Where would you have gone there? Because they've settled the weapons in free agency.
It's Trey Lance still on the board.
Yes, but I don't.
Why don't you go Trey Lance?
I don't
you
think
kidding me? This team is like a quarterback away from contending.
And Trey Lance is going to need at least a year to get into the league.
They got Cam Newton back for another 1-year deal. He'll be a good Band-Aid for 1 year. Trey Lance is not the ideal quarterback for New England, in my opinion, because they do need a quarterback who can play now. You're right about that, but you already had all the good ones go. Trey Lance is the way to go here. How are you going to have someone with that much upside fall this much? This isn't Jordan Love.
I'll explain that at the pick, but yeah. No, I think the Patriots. If the Niners don't take Mac Jones, which there's obviously a good chance, it wouldn't be surprising if they don't, and then I think the Patriots try to trade up for Mac Jones. But besides that, I don't think the Patriots are really going for Trey Lance or, I think the O-line will just help. I think what they're either going to do is either going to try to trade for a quarterback. Don't be surprised if they trade for Garoppolo after the 49ers select Mac Jones. No,
why
but like
they have like no cap room.
I'm joking on that, but I'm just like, I just don't think Trey Lance is a good fit for the Patriots, and I don't think the Patriots are that big on taking a guy that doesn't fit for them.
Well, Trey Lance would give you what Cam Newton didn't. Well, they wanted Cam Newton, but couldn't give you. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I honestly, if I'm being real, Trey Lance is not that far away. I'm saying it now. He's not that far away. If he participates in the off season, they're gonna have an actual off season this year. I think a lot of the uncertainty came with the fact that we didn't know if we would have an off season. There's gonna be a better off season this year. There's probably gonna be a preseason.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be an actual camp.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that far away.
Now with the next pick, Arizona Cardinals. I know you have them taking these trading up for a receiver. I don't have them getting a receiver. I think the receiving core is stacked. But with the loss of Patrick Peterson, they need a corner, and I have them taking J.C. Horn.
Yeah, that works. I wish I don't. He's more of a man guy. They do a lot of cover 3, I think, in Arizona still. But hopefully that pass rush will be good enough now that Chandler Jones is going to be healthy.
J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I think, obviously J.J. Watt. I think that this defense can make plays if they add another corner. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah Simmons, I think, is going to have a huge improvement because he was.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Still can't believe you took Christian Darrisaw over Trey Lance. Darrisaw is like a true tackle. They just traded for Trent Brown. Sorry. Go on. This is why my mock draft is better. Jeez.
Yeah, because you had you had the Patriots trade. Your trade.
You traded him for Mac Jones. It's so much different than passing on Trey Lance if he falls to 15.
Okay. Anyway, with the next pick, I have the Vegas Raiders. I said this in your thing. The best pick for them, and after the top 5, the best match for any prospect is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, willing tackler, an absolute beast in the little linebacker, and he's going to contribute a lot to that Raiders defense that definitely lacks in the run game and run defense.
I mean, yeah, I like the pick. I think that it's a good pick, but if you're picking a linebacker, you're going to want a little bit more of a run defender. He's going to be more of a tactical guy. They just signed back Carl Joseph, who is that strong, hard-hitting box safety, which kind of is what Owusu can project to be. You're not drafting him as a run thumper. I know you probably know a little bit more about Notre Dame football than I do, but he just does not. He screams more of an Isaiah Simmons type player than a Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The reason why I have him is because he's a do it all kind of guy. He has that speed. And he's a willing tackler from the games that I watched with Notre Dame, and I think that's exactly what the Raiders need. I think that's what they like. Obviously, he is a little undersized, but he's gonna make plays for that defense, especially when they need it.
Call me crazy, but I think they still have that in Corey Littleton. Corey Littleton is a similar type of player.
And that's what I was about to compare him to. But Corey Littleton yes, he is still pretty good, but he's nothing compared to how he was with the Rams.
Of course not. It's because he doesn't work in that kind of system. He worked great in a Brandon Staley system, in one of them cover 3 systems. I mean, also that defensive line was much better. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think JOK works in that system. I think Barmore would be a good pick here as well because they just released Hurst or they also released Arden Key. You could go edge rusher here, and I think you'd get good value there. Whatever you go, I just don't think that JOK works.
Okay, next pick, Miami Dolphins. That's their actual pick. I have them taking Elijah Vera-Tucker, offensive line. I think their 2 biggest needs in this draft were receiver and O-line, and they were able to get there with their 2 first-round picks, both very talented players. And I don't. By your facial remarks, I don't really think you can argue with it.
I mean, yeah, solid pick. If he falls that far, he's probably going to go a lot sooner than people expect. You can either have him at tackle and move Hunt into guard, or you can keep Hunt at tackle, move him into guard. You have Jesse Davis for depth. It's a young line. It can grow. They're still going to need a center, which I guess they can address later in the draft. But yeah, Elijah Vera-Tucker works.
Yeah. Now with this next pick, it's they're going to be crazy that this guy fell to them. You already think it. It's your man crush. It's your sugar daddy, whatever you want to call it. I have Trey Lance falling to number 19 to the Washington football team.
Do you understand draft value whatsoever? Whatsoever. I know you didn't have trades in here. If you did, Trey Lance is off the board quicker than you could say mayonnaise, right? Are you kidding me? You have him fall to the Washington football team. That's just not how value works. His talent, his upside is equivalent to a Patrick Mahomes, and you're having him fall to 19 to a division rival. This is your mock draft. This is what you would do. And you have him falling to a division rival for both of us.
I've been saying this a while that Trey Lance, yes, he don't get me wrong, you can't blame the football team for taking him if he falls that far.
Yeah, but of course not. I'm sprinting to the podium, but he's not falling that far.
But yeah, my thinking is that they Trey Lance to me, yes, he's gonna fall strictly because he hasn't played in enough games, and yes, it's not his fault. But I think that it's going to there are a lot of red flags with him coming from small school, and yes, he has a talent, but that's one of the reasons why he's gonna fall. And I also think it's going to be a Dwayne Haskins kind of thing where people have him going top 3, people have him going crazy, but he falls a little bit. And
completely disanalogous. Dwayne Haskins came from a well-known program that doesn't produce good quarterbacks. He wasn't particularly talented.
So,
He threw a lot of
hold up,
screen
hold up,
passes.
hold up, hold up,
The
hold up.
media just
So
overhyped him.
you want Dwayne? So you have Dwayne Haskins was overhyped because he came
Because
and
of the
he came
media.
from yeah, but he came from a system that or a college that never produces good quarterbacks. But yet you have Fields going number 3.
Because Fields is a much more talented quarterback. He's
I
played
agree.
in other systems. He. It's not like he only knows the Ohio State system, right? He's a transfer from Georgia. Dwayne Haskins just wasn't that talented. He couldn't really move that well. He threw mostly screens. The offense was tailored for his success, right? I think Justin Fields has shown way more down the field accuracy. Dwayne Haskins was just completely hyped up. Now, hear me out, right? Trey Lance, he sure doesn't have a lot of experience, but you know who's had less pass attempts coming out of the draft? Same school, went number 2 overall, Carson Wentz. You bet on upside if you're an NFL GM. You bet on that upside. He has shown that he has what it takes. He threw 0 interceptions in a season last year. Of course, that might have been a little bit limited, and in this one game, sure, it was a little wild, but he has shown that he has what it takes. You threw Carson Wentz in there right away, he's an MVP literally the next year. Until he gets hurt, but whatever.
Yeah.
You bet on the talent if you're an NFL GM.
I agree that, but I just feel that there's red flags that's not for the other prospects. I feel that he falls. Maybe, like you said, with trades, he doesn't fall to 19, but I do believe that he's going to fall, and I think he's going to be at least number 4 and probably number 5 in the draft. Quarterback wise,
I can't agree with you. He could go as early as 3.
Okay. But the next pick, we got Chicago Bears. This one was a little weird for me. Like, there's a bunch of different ways I can go to, but I'm not sure if Allen Robinson signed the franchise tag. I don't know enough about it, but I do have them taking Rashad Bateman, wide receiver from Minnesota. I think he's gonna go well. He's gonna help Andy Dalton succeed. They're gonna do whatever they can, especially with possibly trading Allen Robinson.
Like, what to do in this situation. Again, another place you can go Christian Barmore. He's going to go much earlier than you think he will. Much earlier than I mocked him, too. I mean, I mocked him before there was reports everywhere that he could go so much earlier. I think they just cut Akeem Hicks. They want to get Young on that defense as well. That was kind of the purpose of cutting Hicks and Fuller. I mean, Bateman works, I guess, as a good compliment to Robinson, who's gonna be gone. He's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
You might. It's okay to lock that in, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever.
I think the Bears are slowly falling apart, and a lot of people aren't on the other side. And I think they're gonna have to go best player available. And I think that Rashad Bateman is the Justin Jefferson of this draft, where he's not in that big 3, but he has a lot of talent, and in the right system, he's gonna succeed much better and insanely well. Yeah. Number 21, I've got the Indianapolis Colts taking Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips, very talented, but it's always the concussions, unless I'm getting confused with someone.
No, you're
and his health concerns. But I said this a lot in the last one. You can't have too much on the D line, and I feel that he's gonna help change that. He's gonna, if he stays healthy, he's gonna make a huge impact on that Colts defense.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips has all the potential in the world. He's a world wrecker. He just needs to stay healthy. It's just it's so worrisome with Jalen Phillips. I originally had him in my round 1. I don't know if I kept. I think I got rid of him from my round 1 because you're scared. He already retired from football. He literally already retired. 1 concussion and that's it. He's done. So you just kind of want to shelter him, but you don't want to hold him back at the same time if he's a first-round pick. It's a very weird situation with Jalen Phillips. I think if you draft him here and he stays healthy as a peach, you have a perennial Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's going to be like, why did we pass on Jalen Phillips?
Yeah. With the next pick, the Tennessee Titans, I have them taking Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback from Florida State.
Woo!
I think they need to go corner here. They did build up that D-line a little bit. They do have some linebackers. I always forget his name, but they do have they really just need someone to be a corner. They need a receiver too and a corner, the two biggest and maybe an offensive lineman here or there, but I think that they got to go Asante Samuel.
I think it's a little bit of a reach. I won't lie to you. I think Asante Samuel is a late first round, early second round type of prospect. He's great. I love Asante Samuel, and he fits what they're trying to do there. They do need a corner, but I think also that right tackle spot, like who's playing right tackle for the Titans right now? You could go with a Tevin Jenkins. He isn't gonna give you much in the run game, so that would be the only thing that's gonna stop you from taking a Tevin Jenkins. You could go with a Sam Cosmi, who's a very powerful tackle. It might be a tiny bit of a reach, but I don't think it's that much of a reach. And yeah, I like the Asante Samuel pick. I think it's just a little early for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next, I have the Jets from Seattle. I've got them taking Azeez Ojulari from a linebacker from Georgia. Azeez, from what I understand, he has a lot of talent, but like he still has to piece it all together. If I'm not, yeah. So I think he's going to fit in well with the Jets. I think CJ Mosley coming off of a year, they might not want to say, oh yeah, that's a checkpoint. Like, I think that, actually I said that a little wrong, but I just think that Azeez Ojulari would be a good fit for the Jets defense.
I mean, they play different positions though. CJ Mosley's like a middle linebacker. Azeez Ojulari's
Okay. Yeah, everything. I haven't done much research on Ojulari, but everything I say always says linebacker. I'm used to seeing like linebackers, middle linebacker, and edges, outside linebacker.
I mean, yeah, he could probably play your Leo role in that solid defense. Because I think Saleh likes to build around. If Saleh wants to build New York like he did San Francisco, he gets his Nick Bosa, like not actually Nick Bosa, but your athletic freaks on the D line. It's a little thin. You have Quinn and Williams on that D line, and they haven't addressed edge rusher in way too long. So yeah, no, definitely.
No, they have. They got Carl Lawson, right?
They did get Carl Lawson. He's going to be the more hand in the dirt. Ojulari, I think, can be a little bit more of a stand-up kind of guy like your D Ford, whereas Lawson will play your Nick Bosa role. Obviously not to the same extent, but yeah, I think the Jets need that edge rusher. And of course they need corner and thin linebacker and punter, kicker, mama, dada, poo-poo, doo-doo. They need everything, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. With the next pick, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that defensively, they have a very strong defense, and offensively, they have strong receivers, relatively good tight end, and Eric Ebron. I think you know where I'm going with this. With the loss of James Conner, they have
Jalen Samuels.
Yeah. Jalen Samuels? No, is that his name?
Jalen Samuels. At NC State.
Yeah, Jalen Samuels, but he's not your running back. You need a running back for your future, and that is Najee Harris, the running back from Alabama. Your points on this?
I don't take running backs in the first round. I don't believe in it. I think that especially in a class like this where running backs are going to fall, obviously, unless you have like a generational like Saquon or Zeke, you or Christian McCaffrey, you take that. But there are some very, very notorious later round running backs that you can wait on. Nick Chubb was a second rounder. Miles Sanders is a second rounder. Alvin Kamara was a third rounder. Dalvin Cook was a second rounder. Right? Like you can Derrick Henry was a second rounder. Most of the top running backs you can think of in the league today, except for your Zeke, Saquon, and CMC, were running backs taken later later rounds. I think Najee Harris might even be there in the second round for the Steelers to take. I think that he fits their system, but a guy like Javonte Williams also I think could fit their system, who would be barely even a step below Harris, and you get it at that second round. I think offensive line's a bigger need for them. Villanueva just walked. They have Zach Banner starting, who's a fan favorite, but I don't know if he's ready for that. DeCastro is not getting any younger. Pouncey just retired. I think that the offensive line needs to protect the corpse of Big Ben until they can usher in a new quarterback.
Yeah, I thought about giving them an offensive lineman, but I decided Najee Harris. I feel like they might try to push for that offense, and the biggest lack last year was the run game. And
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I
the
had James Conner on my fantasy team. He was like my bell cow.
Okay, but the next pick we've got Jacksonville Jaguars from the Rams. I have them taking Christian Barmore. Not much thought. I just feel Barmore fell a lot. I felt the Jaguars would be happy to take him, and he would help solidify that defensive line.
I mean, yeah, it is a steal. The Jaguars can improve everywhere. This could also be Trevon Moehrig territory for them. I know I've been saying, why isn't it Barmore? Why isn't it Barmore? Why isn't it Barmore?
Yeah.
And now that it's Barmore, I'm like, why isn't it Trevon Moehrig? But yeah, it works. I don't know if defensive interior is necessarily the biggest need. They don't really have anyone there, but they don't really have anyone anywhere. I just think that you don't want to have Andrew Wingard starting at safety for you. I don't know if he's projected to start right now. I just think Trevon Moehrig is such a versatile weapon that you can use in that secondary. But yeah, Christian Barmore's fine.
Okay, 26, the Cleveland Browns. Now, this I did before the Jadeveon Clowney signing. And then after putting with that, I feel Clowney's always hurt, and you need someone to be a solid on the opposite side of Garrett. And that's why I had him taking Gregory Rousseau.
That's a steal. He fell.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
so you go first and I'll speak.
He's quite overhated. That's all I was really going to say.
Yeah, I had a lot of the linebackers dropping because a lot of them all have huge red flags that, like, yes, they do have potential, but, like, I don't think any of them really deserve to go in the top 12, 13, maybe. I think I had Paye at 14.
Paye. The edge rusher, I mean, the edge rusher class is kind of weak in my opinion. You have your big four with Paye, Rousseau, Phillips, Ojulari.
Jason Owe.
I don't like Jason Owe at all. I think that type of speed rusher, Brian Burns was the last effective one that you're going to draft. I think you're going to need more powerful edge rushers in today's game. I think that's just how it works. Owe had no sacks, but it's not even like he was getting like he'll come off the edge. All a quarterback needs to do is just kind of step up and he's toast. He has like no strength. He has no like strength to speak of in the field. I don't really like Jason Owe.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have even had him. Did I even have him in my first round? I might have. If so, take him out. I'm not a Jason Owe guy.
Yeah. Okay. With the next pick, I had the Baltimore Ravens. They did sign Sammy Watkins, but that's not a receiver for the future. So I had them taking Terrence Marshall. I think that's a phenomenal pickup for them. Their defense, they did lose a couple players, but they still have a solid defense. They have a solid run game. It's really just the receiver that's really just the biggest need for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's great and all. Yeah, I don't know how much they're really going to be passing the ball. I think that you could even like, this might be like a really hot draft day like surprise if they went with like Alex Leatherwood, just like someone even more big, powerful beasts you can just put on that O line and just run the ball the whole game. Like if you can't stop, I like balancing it out a little bit, but they aren't going to pass the ball that much. They still need offensive interior, which I guess they could address later. But
yeah,
I mean, I like the pick. It's good. Yeah, good pick.
I think Ben Cleveland. He's projected like a third round pick. He's going to be a beast.
You can get him later on. You can get like a center. You can get like a Kendrick Green later on. You can get maybe even a Creed Humphrey. He might even fall that far. Maybe like a Trey Smith. Whoever. Yeah. They do need center.
Next pick I got. Yeah. I got the Saints taking Jason Owe, Penn State. I feel that they might try to make one push with either Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill. They just lost Hendrickson. Yeah, I just had them. I think they need that cleanup guy, and I think they're going to hope that Owe is that cleanup guy.
He's a weaker version of Marcus Davenport. Let's be real. Trey Hendrickson had power. That was Trey Hendrickson's IO, right? You're going to replace Trey Hendrickson with a guy, sure, he runs a 4-3, but he isn't going to get you like he's not going to like push the offensive line. Unless he gets coached up really well. I know they lost a lot of or a little bit of their defensive coaching staff too. I don't know if that's not what I would do.
Yeah. The only other thing that I was thinking of was Zaven Collins, but I don't think they would. They still have Demario Davis, who's a very talented middle
Well,
linebacker.
Demario Davis might be on his way out soon. He might retire soon. He would. I think Zayvon Collins could fill in that Demario Davis role, like after he retires. That actually wouldn't be a bad pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Better pick
Now
than
at
Jason Oweh.
29, this is what the Packers should do, but they're not going to do. And you said this guy earlier, Rondell Moore, wide receiver Purdue, was kind of like a Curtis Samuel, and I think that's exactly what they need. They have the MVS as the deep ball guy. They have Devontae Adams as the absolute beast, like outside does everything. They what's his face? I'm forgetting his Alan Lazard, who's like the blocking down in the trenches, very hard nosed guy. And then you just need that guy who will do everything, catch the jet sweeps, like just do a little bit of everything, but not like overly exceed. Like just do everything correctly and do it right, but not be your superstar, which is that exactly what they need for that offense. And Rondell Moore fills that hole.
I mean, yeah, Rondell Moore. When you draft him, you cannot view him as a receiver. He's just a weapon. Um, I think if you fell to round 2, that would be a perfect Panthers pick. You have him falling around 1 here. I think Kadarius Toney would do similar things for the Packers, except I think he can give you a little bit more in the terms of route running. Um, I don't know, and I think that they're both incredibly fast, and I think that kind of like shifty receiver is good for Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Okay, at number 30, the Buffalo Bills, we got Tevin Jenkins. This one, when I was thinking about the Bills, there's a lot of different ideas I thought, but like they have good receivers. Their running backs, they have decent running backs, but they can obviously take one later. Clarkson Knox is a serviceable tight end. Their defense is already very talented. I think that they might as well just go O-line and help protect for Josh Allen.
Sure. At right tackle, who do they have? Daryl Williams. Is he still on the team or did he leave?
I
And
have
yeah,
no.
either way, it's like good. It's good. It's a good. He's a great pass blocker. He can really develop. Um, he could. I don't think he can move to guard. If I'm being honest, he has shorter arms, but he's a tackle. He's like a mauler. Yeah, I mean
And
it's a fine pick.
yeah. With the next pick, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, Landon Dickerson, offensive line Bama. I think Chiefs have to go O-line. With they lost 2 guys. They just need to beef up the O-line in this draft.
I like Dickerson's versatility, but he has a torn ACL. Like, when is he going to see the field? They need like immediate help. I think that you go tackle here, whatever is left there. Cosme's still on the board. Radoon's is still on the board.
Yeah.
That's where I would go. Although
Okay.
Dickerson might project out better later on.
That's true, I guess, because maybe that's actually thinking about it now. In hindsight, you're probably right with that because they let go of Fisher and Schwartz because of their injuries.
Maybe they
But
need a tackle, but I doubt it.
That's the thing. When I was doing this, I had the Kansas City Chiefs. I knew they were going O-line, and I just looked at the first, the best offensive lineman because I had the list. And I was like, this guy's there. I completely forgot about his injury.
You know what you're doing right now? You're proving that my mock draft is better.
No, I just made one mistake.
I think about stuff. One mistake is all it takes. All right, listen.
One mistake, how you're here.
All it takes. Okay, all right. We didn't have to go that far. All right, that hurts.
And now you're here.
Anyway, announce this Buccaneers pick before I cry myself to sleep.
Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last pick in the first round, they have a very talented secondary, so I didn't go there. Their pass rush, I ended up taking Zayvon Collins. I think Lavonte David is very talented, and they still have Devin White, but Lavonte David is getting older, and I feel like Zayvon Collins will be able to fill that.
They just extended Lavonte David. They just, Devin White's still their young option. I mean, of course you're going to be drafting for the future, but the future I think the future would be at other positions that you can get here. You didn't have Javon Morig at all in the first round, which is so shocking to me. Kadarius Toney fell out of the first round.
Yeah, I think Morag is gonna fall. I think safeties normally fall. Like
Yeah, I
them
mean they
last
normally fall, but this is like a
uh,
generational safety.
hmm.
I don't know. Um, disappointed but not surprised in that mock draft. I gotta say, they could have gone tackle there too. Donovan Smith is kind of, um, I don't like Donovan Smith that much at tackle. So yeah, your mock draft was mediocre at best. Mine
And
better.
okay.
Uh, L plus ratio plus get a job. Um, basically that's all I have to say about that. Your quarterback talent evaluation is broken. It needs to be fixed if you want to ever be taken seriously ever by anyone. Um, the world is laughing at you right now. The whole world watches and
Okay,
laughs.
okay.
They take the
But
big
I just want to say
picture.
this right now. Let's just say Trey Lance falls out of the top 15. You have to do a punishment.
All right, fine. We're saying this on the 90 Mile podcast. What's my punishment if Trey Lance falls out of the top 15?
Hmm. Oh wait. Okay, I have an idea, but wait, just give me a second. Uh, I would say you have to do a giant skier, but kind of late for that one.
Yeah, whose hand is that? That's not my hand. Dunk. Whatever. Uh, if Trey Lance falls out of the top 15, I will. What will I do?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
Thank you
what
for
what should I
watching.
do? Uh,
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And Jish, anything else you want to add?
um, I assume that most of you will be watching this after the draft, and if Howie Roseman took Christian Barmore or Kwity Paye and didn't trade down for them, we're calling for his head. That's it. His office, we're locking the doors. We're all storming NovaCare Center. We're locking the doors. It's my call to action. We're changing the key. We're Jamal Adamsing him.
Oh my
They
god.
must have cut me. We did, Howie Roseman. Goodbye. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.